What's up guys, llamapen here, and today I'm back with another Four Nations Face-Off custom NHL build. Throughout the Four Nations tournament, I've been building one forward and one D-man from each team. The tournament is over and Canada was victorious, but I do still have a few builds left. I'd first like to give a big congratulations to Jordan Binnington and Colton Parayko. I'm a Blues fan, so obviously I was super psyched with how Binnington played, and Parayko had a good tournament as well, and the rest of Team Canada obviously played great. The tournament was obviously a big success, and I had a lot of fun following along with it. We've still got a defenseman from Sweden to build though, as well as two US players, so let's get started with the teammate of the golden goal scorer himself, Edmonton Oilers D-man Mattias Ekholm. He's been a reliable defenseman for about a decade and a half now, playing most of his career in Nashville as a workhorse, all situations type blue liner who fit nicely behind Roman Josi. As he passed age 30 and moved on to Edmonton, people like myself wondered if he could be the top pairing guy on the left side, and he quieted those doubts almost immediately. Turns out he was exactly the kind of defender the Oilers needed. He does just about everything you could want. He moves the puck well, he's a big body who plays a strong physical game in front of the net, and he can also chip in offensively. At 6'5", 225 pounds, I have to admit he's a lot bigger than I realized. I knew he was a pretty big dude, but he's almost exactly the same size as Parayko, who is huge. His size won't allow us to build him as a two-way defenseman, which is probably what I would prefer, but that's okay because I'd say he is more known for his defensive game than anything else. So in choosing the defensive defenseman, I guess I'll just have to focus on boosting some of the offensive attributes. I went once again with the old classic stick 'em up gold. Such a good trait and something that Ekholm also does well. He's great with that stick and he's got a massive wingspan. Next, I chose the bouncer trait. I don't know if I've ever actually used this trait, but Ekholm, like I said, is a beast in front of his own net. If it's boxing out, clearing pucks, winning puck battles, he's great at that. This trait seemed fitting, and this is validated by his build in online versus play. Then we also see another familiar trait with in reverse as the second silver trait. You know I like this one for the big boys. He's so big that his skating is going to suffer a lot, and at least this way he'll skate backwards and turn a little better, which once again is something Ekholm is good at. I use the boosts on passing and deking. It's not like Ekholm is Pavel Datsyuk or anything, but the hands on the defensive defenseman are in the basement, evidenced by the fact that putting 9 points into deking overall only gets it to 79. I sacrificed a decent amount of shooting to assist in some of the skating attributes, otherwise they would have been really bad. I especially wanted the endurance to be really high. Ekholm is a workhorse who plays major minutes, and I want this build to have energy for days. His shot is going to be just okay for a defenseman, but he should still be able to score occasionally. Ideally, what we'll have here is a tough-as-nails defenseman who can clear the front of the net, stay strong on the puck, and move the puck up ice. If we're lucky, this build is going to be able to skate a little bit, but I really don't have my hopes up. And what can I say? You can't be disappointed if you don't get your hopes up. So in this case, I guess I wasn't disappointed, but this build is very slow. I think it even wound up being slower than the Parayko build, and I think the culprit is probably that 83 acceleration. Speed is 85, which isn't terrible, but this build takes long to get up to that top speed, and that top speed is not that high. The agility and endurance are really the only things that this build has going for it skating-wise, but it doesn't necessarily help that much with that endurance to have all this energy when you can't really keep up with anyone anyway. The agility, I will say, with his size is nice for finding passing lanes and turning away from danger. He can really use that big frame to turn off of forecheckers very well. The bouncer trait also definitely seems like it has an impact in those net front battles. It's really easy to disrupt guys who like to go to the net front by just kind of passively standing there, which is nice. His physicality is also really good. You get those bumps and big hits really easily, and the discipline is so high that you usually don't have to worry about taking penalties. The shot is also about as expected. I didn't end up scoring many or even any goals with this build that I can remember. The shots didn't seem particularly slow or inaccurate, they just didn't really go in. I don't think I even really have to say that the hands aren't good with this build either. Your best bet for evading other skaters is just to use that big body and turn away from guys, like I said, because you're not going to skate past anybody, and you're probably not going to be able to dangle through anyone either. Overall, to me, this build just wound up being too big, too slow. I'd say it's a one-dimensional build, but honestly, the defense is not really even good just because you're so slow. Yeah, you have the good defensive ratings, but you just really can't keep up with the play. I guess it's a zero-dimensional build, really. So sorry, Mattias Ekholm and Oilers fans out there, but just being honest, if the Oilers played this build 23 minutes a night, they would be in last place. This build is really only good if you're back and right in front of the net. Everywhere else, it's just you're in constant danger of getting burned, and you don't even have that 90 shot power like Pareko, so it's really not super fun to play with either. You don't really have anything going for you here. But anyway, guys, that unfortunately is my Ekholm build. I guess his frame and skill set just doesn't really translate that well to EASHL. That does complete Team Sweden, which means we're going to move on to the lovable losers, Team USA. I'll start with a forward first. Which one will it be? Stay tuned to find out. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.